All right. I've never gone live on my computer, so it's going to take me a minute to just navigate here. I've always done it on my phone. Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you guys hear me all right? I don't think I like going live on my computer. I'm not going to lie. All right, I'm going to let it fill up a little bit. See, I advertise it on my Facebook and Instagram too, so we'll see how many people hop in. But I'm just getting used. I came live on my computer on YouTube to potentially be able to share stuff, and I'm just, oh, there it is, share screen. Okay, let's see. Perfect. That was easy. Just like Zoom. All right. I'm going to just turn my attention to you guys, to the comments. I didn't have a plan. I didn't want to talk about anything specifically, but, and I'll be right with you in 1 second. I forgot to do one thing. One small thing.
What do you think? Should I let him back on the cart?
Okay, done. I apologize for that. Spiro, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. When I tell you this, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. The appreciation I get is ridiculous. Like the amount of people on a daily basis that are just appreciative and understanding of what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, and it just means the world to me because the people in my real life don't understand it. So to have people like you guys and people my subscribers on different platform, it truly means so much to me. So Spiro, thank you. I appreciate it so much. All right, I'm going to turn my attention to this chat here. And again, bear with me, guys. I've never done live on my computer. I think I need to, it's kind of bouncy. I need to make this a little bit more stable. Just trying to just be relaxed on the couch, but that should help. And don't come at me for we're over here, my pagan, non-pagan face masks. Those are from before I even woke up. They're from trips my wife and I took. One's from our honeymoon, one's from Punta Cana. They're like from years ago. They're just decorations. Don't come at me for having like voodoo stuff outside in my house. All right. Now I'm focused on the chat here. How do I deal with knowing the world isn't real? The world is so real. The world is absolutely real. I mean, we are in an amazing place. TV is not real. The people on TV isn't real. It's all a show. It's a world stage, but the world is very real. Go out, put your feet in the ground, get in a lake, get in the ocean, look at the sun. Sun gazing is a very real thing. Don't do it haphazardly. Research it, figure out how to do it. The world is so real. However, I do think that the spiritual world is more real. I think we're here having an experience, improving our soul, and I do think once we all move on from this physical realm, we'll look back and be like, that was all kind of a show. Daniel, I'm looking. Thank you. I appreciate the contributions. Amazing. I don't come on here for that, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate it. Daniel, yeah, I don't know if that's a public comment or if you want me to read a comment, but I don't know. It's funny you ask because I'm doing a members or subscribers only video coming up pretty soon on something called Gold Juice. What I think literally, so these posts I'm making recently, I've been exposing the fake Hollywood music celebrity deaths for 2 years now, but just these past freaking 4 weeks, maybe a month, um, I have really started to uncover huge age gaps to the point where I didn't realize that the main reason they are faking these deaths is to avoid suspicion of not aging. I knew it was part of it, but it's the main thing. They're literally undying vampires. And I don't know if they're fallen angels. I don't know if they're fallen angels' offspring. I don't know if they're just regular people that drink something referred to as the gold juice, which I'm going to do a video on. I think they tell us in the movies. I think to become a vampire in the vampire movies, you have to drink the blood of a vampire. So part of me really thinks that these were normal people, and then they drink fallen angel blood, and then they become immortal-ish. I don't want to say immortal, but they live a lot longer than you and I. And then I think to sustain that, they drink the rhymes with a brinabrome. So Daniel, that is way off from what you asked, but I just said I'm talking about it because you're talking about the golden elixir, and I'm doing a video on golden elixir, but a different kind, not urine therapy. Full honesty, I haven't researched it enough. I know people have been able to survive on that when they're in difficult situations. I've heard things about it, but I am not well versed enough to give you a very good answer, and I apologize. That might be something I go research more though. It's funny, only 200 people in here. Last time I had like 800. It's kind of wild. Maybe just the time of day. Yeah. So simulation theory, guys, I think is a bunch of nonsense. I think simulation theory is like evolution. It's the new thing to disprove God. It's the new thing to make people think, oh, maybe we're in a computer simulation. If we're in a simulation, it's God simulation. It's the most high simulation. And it's definitely not some advanced computer or advanced civilization and we're in a computer. No, it was literally like Elon Musk was talking about that. The biggest Luciferian satanic never dying used to be Werner von Braun. If you haven't seen that video, simulation theory is nonsense in my opinion. And I don't mean that rudely. Like it's okay. When I first woke up, I was deceived in a direction for a while. I was believing people like David Icke, just to name one. That guy's Alex Jones of the UK. He's just a lying Luciferian, probably never dying, Brinabrome drinking guy too. Just guys, anyone you see on TV, your Candace Owens, your Alex Jones, your Tucker Carlson, all these people are all part of the club. Every single one of them. If they're on TV, you need to be part of the club. And I will say this. I think 90% of people with a large following on social media are also part of the club. And I didn't realize that at first until like the first year, a lot of them befriended me. Like I became buddies with David Weiss and like some of these people in the flat earth community. And then my spidey sense just kept tingling and things weren't adding up. And eventually I got to the point where I exposed them. Back in the winter of 24, I made a bunch of videos exposing the Hibblers, the Weisses, the Sargents, the Austin Whitsits. If there's any, flat earthers in here, you guys all know those people. They are all gatekeeping government shills. And yeah, they give a lot of truth, but the flat earth truth they give is there's infinite lands, infinite expanse, outer lands. That's where extraterrestrials come from. It's all nonsense to make you not tie where we live into biblical cosmology. Let me turn back to the chat here. Big Daddy Premier Soccer. I don't know what I nailed, but thank you. I appreciate it. really confused how people think it's the little season when we are at the cusp of Daniel. So because they're faking revelation again, they can't bring in a fake Jesus unless they are faking revelation events. Um, to me, it's very clear we're in the little season. There is literally a 300-foot statue of Lucifer in New York. That wouldn't happen if it wasn't the little season. Um, and they invert and they pervert everything, right? They invert and pervert everything. And what do we have? We have a 700 to 900 year time frame called the Dark Ages. And if they invert everything, the Dark Ages were when Lucifer or Satan were in the bottomless pit. They call it the Dark Ages because their God was in the dark. And our God, for those of you who are Jesus followers and the Most High followers, was ruling during those dark ages, the so-called dark ages. It was really the millennial reign. Jesus said in the Bible, those of you standing here today will not taste death before my return. He came back in 70 AD. The temple was destroyed in 70 AD. There's so much evidence that that already happened. And for people that say we would know if it happened, well, none of us knew we lived on a globe, or all of us thought we lived on a globe, I should say. So if they can fool us about the ground we walk on, they can hide the millennial reign from us for sure. And I don't mean to come at you. Like I'm just passionate about it. That's all. Do I believe in manifesting? Yeah, absolutely. It's a real thing. I know like it can get some bad press for lack of a better word, but I mean, manifesting is real because our thoughts become our reality, and that's all it is. If you're thinking about positive things, if you're thinking about and trying to project your future and what you want, our thoughts literally become our actions, and our actions become our reality. So manifesting is real for sure. Yeah, 1,000% Agent D. All the shills push the sacrifice nonsense. 1,000%. Guys, they don't kill their own kind. I personally am not even sure if they kill anyone. I think the Luciferians, the Masons, they deceive. And I truly think that they follow some laws where they can't impact your free will. So if they're just killing people, that's impacting free will. But if they can trick you into things, if they can trick you into taking a thing in your arm, well, that's not just whacking you. That's deceiving you into basically, letting you take your own life. But yeah, they, like the Chester Benningtons, the Chris Cornells, these people weren't sacrificed. They changed roles because they're going to live too long and people would start to notice. Tom Holland looks like when he first started doing Spider-Man, he looks like he's like 15 years old. Tom Holland is Chester Bennington, or was. I'm sure of that, 100%. Just like I'm sure if you guys saw my video today, especially if there are any members in here, I did a dynamite, and humility aside for a second, I exposed that Jim Carrey is George Jones 1,000%. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, I have the facial recognition ability that I've had my whole life, and I've seen George Jones for a year, and I've been trying to piece it together, thinking maybe George Jones. And for those of you who don't know, he's a country singer that supposedly lived until like 2014, and obviously Jim Carrey came out in the 90s. But I've been seeing his face, and I'm like, that's Jim Carrey's dad, something. But this past month, when it's been uncovered to me that these people don't die at all, they don't die. It's literally Jim Carrey. If you guys haven't seen my video of George Jones that I did today being Jim Carrey, you got to go watch, especially the member one. I have to dumb things down and water them down for the general public. That's why I have a subscription, so people can go watch because they don't censor the subscriber videos for the exact reason that they can't go viral. And I don't know, like Facebook, I can do a 3-minute video, they'll go viral, but they will censor that if it's filled with information. So the ones that are super filled with information, and usually twice as long, 3 times as long, 4 times as long, I put in my subscriber area. What's up, Stop Geoengineering? So anything lined up new on the videos, guys? I fly by the seat of my pants. I don't plan any videos. Today I was going to do a video on the gold juice I was talking about. I've got a crazy video of a girl talking about it. I've never seen anyone talk about actually being offered to join the Never Dying Club and denying it, and she kind of exposes it a little bit. And I was going to do a video on that, but the Jim Carrey stuff just hit me like a ton of bricks. Um, so I just follow divine inspiration. I follow my gut. I follow my instincts, my logic. I never am planning stuff out. Yeah, sometimes I have like an idea of like, I know I want to do that video. And if there's ever a time where I'm like, oh, what should I do? I remember back to that, but I don't plan things out. But the one thing I know I'm doing coming up very soon is talking about how they become these undying beings if they're not already that all the time. I'm really starting to think, for the longest time, I thought they were the fallen angels. And I'm starting to think that they're not. I'm starting to think they're just the fallen angels minions or bloodline, and that they're normal humans that can extend their life with Obrina and med beds and healing frequencies. I literally found research the other day online talking about this, like straight from Google, who would normally hide this stuff, but they were talking straight about how young persons, the stuff that comes out of your veins, young person's stuff that comes out can reduce skin aging, can literally make you look younger. So, Big Daddy, awesome, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the contribution. Have an awesome night. So yeah, that's the video I have coming up. Whenever it hits me right, I'll do it. Interesting. Someone talking about drinking urine. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a real thing. I really do. I need to research it more, but the things I've heard about it, it's interesting for sure. I need to research it more. Yeah, the fallen angels rule this world for sure. I literally think Trump is Lucifer. I really do. Like, I'm like 95% there. I'm 100% sure that Trump was Elvis. I know that as a fact. And when you think that Elvis's face was literally on the Statue of Liberty and they switched it out. Why would they switch it out and make it a different face? So we wouldn't recognize that the Statue of Liberty which is Lucifer, looks exactly like Elvis. And then you especially wouldn't realize that the Statue of Liberty, which is Lucifer, is Trump. And he tells us so many times, even the Time magazine, they have him on Time magazine with the M, like doing the devil horns right out of his head. I'd bet my house that Trump is Lucifer. That's how sure I am. I'd bet every dollar I've ever touched in my life that Trump is Elvis. And not that I'm like, what do I think about Professor Dave? This is what I think of him. He's not worth talking about. He's just he's an idiot, just like Simon Dan. These guys are paid government shills to make people like me look dumb. Simon Dan did like a 20-minute video on me the other week. And like, he's got like 500,000 followers. I don't know how people can't see right through these just total frauds. So Green, you don't know that though. So Green says the little season hasn't happened. The two witnesses would need to have happened, but you don't know that hasn't. You have no idea that hasn't happened. Just because the Christian churches don't tell you about it, or the news doesn't tell you about it, or history books doesn't tell you about it, doesn't mean it hasn't happened. Just like you have no idea that Jesus came back and destroyed the temple in 70 AD. There's evidence of that. He was here. He reigned already. That happened. It really, like, Every single person who ever hears about the little season rejects it at first, and then they spend the time doing the research. And then I would say 90% of the people get there because it's like the only reason people don't think it is because of what we've been told our whole lives. Just like people were told we lived on a globes our whole life. And when you figure that there aren't globes don't exist, it's not a real thing. You're like, oh, I was fooled about that. I could be fooled about anything. They could hide anything from me. Guess what? They hid the millennial reign. They call it the Dark Ages. Now, I can't prove that. I can't prove that like I can prove Elvis is Trump. I can't prove that like I can prove that Prince turned into David Blaine. Some of these I can prove. I can't prove that the millennial reign happened, but I fully believe it. And I think the evidence is there to lean that way strongly. Oh, Space Ghost. Oh, how do I know for a fact that clones aren't real? Oh, I thought you were siding with me. All right, let's talk clones, guys. Let's talk clones. Most awakened souls believe in clones. I would say I'm in the vast majority that has. I fell for that. I did fall for that psyop at one point, just like I fell for believing David Icke in reptilians. Reptilians are a non thing. Maybe they're, the cherubim and different types of fallen angels, but there's no reptilians from other planets or anything like that. But here, I just want to walk you through the clone psyop, okay? When they try to indoctrinate us, when they try to push a belief on us, they cram it down our throats, like the globe. They put it in cartoons when you're a kid. They put it in every classroom. They put it in every movie. They put globes in the solar system above your crib. It's crammed down your throat. Star Wars this, like Star Trek this, space, globe, everywhere. Dinosaurs. They cram it down your throat. What they do with clones, they crammed it down our throats. It started with Jurassic Park. Oh, they can clone dinosaurs because they can find the fly that bit a dinosaur, and we can get the DNA. And that's where it started. That was the point of Jurassic Park, to push dinosaurs and to start the clone narrative. Then came multiplicity. They can clone Michael Keaton. Look, there's clones. Then came whatever was next, the Clone Wars. Then came they clone Tyrone, like clone movies, clone TV shows, clone this, clone that. That's not how they tell us the truth. They do it very subtly. They hide it in symbolism. They do it in plain sight, but very quietly. When they indoctrinate us, they shove it down our throat. And you know what they said they cloned first? You guys know, right? What was Dolly? Dolly was a sheep, as in the sheeple will believe anything we cram down their throats. Oh, and what else? We're going to tell them that clones exist. So when there are people that look alike, like Benicio del Toro and Brad Pitt, who are the same person, they'll think they're clones. And when people like Chester Bennington looks exactly like Tom Holland, they'll think they're clones instead of vampires who don't die. And one more point to this, and I'm sorry, I'm not mad. This is my biggest pet peeve of this. I'm not meaning to be like frustrated. But clones are my biggest pet peeve in the truther world. They also push clones to mock God, because only God can create. Only God can create life. They can't create life. Yeah, can they grow something in a test tube? Can they do a test tube baby? Yeah, but it's not a clone. It's not an exact replica. Clones don't exist. Clones especially don't exist. Like, people thought Kanye was a clone. Oh, yeah, they just 3D printed a new body, threw a soul in there. No, guys, that doesn't happen. The dude they were calling Kanye was just another dude, and the public's so dumb that they call him Kanye, and they're like, look, they cloned Kanye. When Kristen Cavallari started talking about clones, Kristen Cavallari, who was married to Jay Cutler, who was on like the Hill show or whatever, Laguna Beach, she's part of the club. She's pushing clones because that's her job on her podcast, is to push the psyops. So I think that's good evidence that clones don't exist. They push it down your throat, and the truth they tell you subtly. So that's my clone tirade. I usually go on one. Elon, not clones, just yeah, guys. That's the thing. Like they created clones to muddy the waters of what's really going on, which is this. Here's what's really going on. They put on prosthetics, silicone, like Jim Carrey played Joe Biden for 4 years, wearing a mask. And if you haven't seen it, like if you don't know that, I did 20 videos on it a year ago. But that's what they're doing. They're hiding prosthetics and masks, which they've done for decades. And they're hiding the fact that these undying beings are here. And when they get, I think they all have like a plan. They have like a life plan. This one's gonna live to this long before they fake their death and disappear. This one's gonna live to 100, like Jimmy Carter, and then he's going to die naturally. So not every, but he didn't die. He's probably looking like he's my age now. One of my subscribers on Facebook sent me Andre the Giant today. Like, I am 90% sure that Andre the Giant is this Russian boxer. Looks just like him, has the same marks, the exact same teeth. He's like 7'2". None of these people on the TV die. And I think that's part of it is to get on the TV, you need to sign your name in blood and then start drinking the Abrina Brome. Or maybe they're just all the fallen angels. All the fallen angels are on TV, getting their Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. Stars are referred to as angels in the Book of Enoch in the Bible. Well, that's funny you mentioned Lucille Ball. Yeah. Funny her name is I Love Lucy, as in like I Love Lucifer. Also Ball, as in Baal. Yeah, she's part of the club. I would bet money she's alive and someone as well. Yeah, Agent D, thank you. Yeah, matching moles and stars are proof they're not clones, guys. They are, especially the scars. Like that was the first one I did where Dale Earnhardt was the first one I did where I was like, okay, there's some of these people with big age gaps. And like I'm sure all of you guys have seen how there are people who look exactly the same now from like 100 years ago. Like Peter Dinklage, the little person that's in Game of Thrones, he looks just like someone from like 200 years ago. So many of them do. And what it is that is just them. They've lived hundreds of years. Part of me thinks that they were let loose with Satan. Satan, Lucifer, brought a third of his angels down, and maybe they were all in the bottomless pit. And we're living in Revelation 20, verse 7, where they're released to deceive the nations. So maybe they are all just fallen angels. And they came out in 1776 when, supposedly the U.S. was founded, but it was also when the Illuminati was founded. So in my opinion, I think it's when Lucifer was released to deceive. It was at the end of the millennial reign. Stephanie, Stephanie asked a good question, guys. What's the best platform to see all my content and pay for a membership at the same time? Honestly, I would 100% say, and I'm doing this video here because I could do the share screen and different things if I wanted to, but Facebook, hands down. It's where I have the most, it's the best platform as far as like having a social aspect. There's a giant group posting area where people are in there all day, every day, sharing, conversing, asking if they think this person looks like this. And that's the place right now that I'm least censored, which is crazy because Facebook used to be so censored. TikTok was the place that was the best. Now TikTok is the absolute worst and Facebook is the absolute best. So I would 100%, if you're trying to decide where to subscribe to me, I have dozens and dozens of subscriber videos on there. And I do here, but here's what I do on YouTube, guys. I most of my subscriber or their member videos, I release for the members for a month and then I make them public. Just because if I make them public, they don't get censored here, the longer ones, and they actually do well. So I do like people to see my more detailed videos, but I save those for the members and partly for the, not as much on this platform, but on the other platforms, they don't get censored. My other platforms, I never release my member videos. I just leave them as member videos. But here, after a month, I release them to the public. Let's see, Joseph Dockett. What did you fact check? I was curious. Gerson Lopez, amen, brother. Christ is king. Absolutely. Thank you for the contribution, my friend. Much appreciated. Yeah, Agent D. Agent D, you got your stuff together, my friend. Yeah, guys. And I just figured this out probably within the past 4 months. All the plastic surgeries that go wrong no, that's not real. That's to cover new people playing the role. Like I'm going to give you one, for example. I haven't done a video on this, but I'm pretty sure I found Courtney Cox, who was Monica on Friends, for people who don't know her real name. I'm almost sure I found her after she has gone through the Abrinabrome treatments and decreased her age and is looking younger, because I am a master of facial recognition and mannerisms. And I think I found her. And I think someone else is playing her now. And that's why she looks like so plasticky. And these people have millions and millions of dollars. They're not paying for bad plastic surgery. Okay. Now go look at Kris Jenner right now. I think what they're doing with Kris Jenner is disclosure. They're saying, look, we have the ability to do this and we need to tell you, because they have to tell us everything. And what she did, they all do, but in their new role. Kris Jenner, they just put it out in the open, probably because she's a Kardashian and the Kardashians have all the stuff, but all the best ways to look better and blah, blah, blah. She drank the gold juice and the Abrinabrome. Yeah, those plastic surgeries, the botched ones, the people like Simon Cowell looking terrible, totally fake to cover new people playing the people who probably have switched roles. Sorry if this is bouncy. I keep noticing that. If you guys aren't getting like the shaken baby syndrome because I'm like moving around. I'm trying to just be comfortable and relaxed on the couch. So hey, will you guys put just a few of you in the comments? Are there people that maybe I'm thinking of playing my member, and maybe you guys tell me. I'll see what people say. Do you guys want me to share my members only Jim Carrey video I did today? Or would you rather me just sit here and answer questions? Because it's like 10 minutes long. If you guys could light the chat up with yes, if I should play it. All right, I'm getting a bunch of yeses. All right, I will do my best. Let's see if I'm tech savvy enough to do this. I'm going to go switch screens for a second. I'm going to see how this will go. All right, got it. Let's see. All right, it's loaded up. Now let's just see if I can share my screen right. I'm going to share my screen and then come back and just do a sound check to make sure the sound is working here. Okay, guys, so give me 1 second. I'll share it and see. All right, I think we should be good. Let's do a sound check.
Hello, my friends.
I'm gonna try to. Was it working? Anyone? Sound? Can you guys hear it? All right. Then we're going back. I'll talk to you guys in 9 minutes here. Hello, my friends. I'm going to try to make this video for you while I'm still in the thick of the emotions and the discovery and the revelations of this, because this to me is undeniable proof that they could live for a long time, a long time, a long, long, long time. I've heard him say 80,000 years. I've heard him say it. Anyway, we all know who this is. And I'm going to try to fit this in under 10 minutes because that's all it gives me. This is George Jones, country singer George Jones. And I've seen him for a while, and my facial recognition was just going and going. And I'm like, that's got to be Jim Carrey's dad. But now that I know that they don't die and they can drink the red stuff and literally get younger, and they are using her as disclosure. They're telling us that's the same person. After she, now I just want to walk you through this because a friend of mine, Jeff, sent me something on him talking about being Jesus today. And it was amazing, but it sent me down just the Jim Carrey rabbit hole because I saw it. I saw it in a video because I'll show you why. Because do you see this? He doesn't really have that. But then I remembered Me, Myself, and Irene, where they gave it a nod or a chin. And then I saw in Me and Myself and Irene when he made a face. You could see it. You could see it. Normally it's not there, but they probably put filler in there. But when the skin gets stretched or bunched, you could see it. And he's wearing these glasses in Me, Myself, and Irene as well. Kind of like the ones George Jones, country singer, used to love a lot. And I decided to use that screen capture from Me, Myself, and Irene and pair it up with George Jones. And you got to imagine the face is just a little off. So the butt is just in a little different spot. But watch these lips. I'll replay it for you in a second. Look at those lips, the nose. It's all the same because that's the same person. You can even see the scar. Remember, the face is just a little off, but the chin scar and the lips, they're exactly the same because it's the same person. And you want to know this morning when I knew 1,000%, I found a video of him being pulled over drunk and getting arrested. And I watched it. I have photographic memory and I knew what it was from immediately. I knew what it was from because they do it. They repeat things, they duplicate things, they do predictive programming, kind of like they did with him being Biden. For those of you subscribers that haven't seen my JC being Joe, just watch this. I'm going to put it in here for those of you that haven't seen it. And then we're going to get to him being drunk at his car alongside something. Now, this is one side uncut, and I want you to watch how perfectly it pairs with several different scenes of him. Walking. This is Ace Ventura. Now watch his arm go up here. Still walking. If you guys haven't seen this, you got to go find this full thing. Watch his arm go up. Remember, this is uncut. This is one walk from helicopter to Air Force One. In the synchronicities of it, like I said, I have a photographic memory, so I knew as I was discovering this and watching this, I could remember these things. Now, some of them took me a little bit longer because I couldn't remember the movie, but watch the handrail. Watch the handrail. This is exact. The handrailing's exact. It's predictive programming or not. Well, this was predictive program or this is just mocking. Guys, this is my favorite video I've ever done, I think. I'm in the process of giving you my favorite video I've ever done. This is confirmation 1000%. They're either the fallen angels, or they're like the bloodline of them, or they're the minions of them, and maybe they're just normal people that if we all drink the stuff can live endlessly. Now let's get to the other clip, the one where he is supposedly drunk, but my guess is it's not even real. And hey, that's like a funny whole spot, but don't worry, we'll get to a real good one of these in a second. But this video I just put together, it blew my mind. Well, not really, because I know they do this, but the way I found it and did it, I did it in like 2 minutes. 2 minutes I put this together because I knew where it was from. Could you tell I'm excited? That's both of them, by the way. Now I just want to say this clip from Jim, it's from Yes Man, which I've probably seen 15 times. So I knew it.
Take that pretty girl of yours to a ball, because she deserves that.
He's drunk?
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
He's drunk.
Ace, man. Hey, don't worry, I got your back. You don't have anybody's back. I'm sorry, man. It's all our fault. I haven't fighted in a fight since grade 7. I didn't fight. We're in a fight, all right. Okay? You want some, huh?
No.
More? Because I'm open for business, okay?
I mean, you can hardly tell that's not supposed to be Jim, because it is. Now, isn't that video insane? Something just came up that I've never got and said like copyright check. I think I might have to mute it, which would suck. But you can still see. So if you're watching this and it's muted, that's why. Onto something else with this. So he supposedly died, George, in 2013. So people will run and be like, well, it can't be him because he died in 2013 and Jim Carrey was out in like the 90s. Okay, but let me show you something. That's supposedly him when he's older. And that's either not the same dude. I mean, like, you can see the chins are completely different. Or that's Jim coming back and putting on fake nonsense, which I think, now that I'm looking at it, I thought it was just two different people, but I think that's Jim with prosthetics, because you can still kind of see the butt, but that looks more like the way they changed his chin. So yeah, he didn't die. He just drank a bunch of red stuff. Maybe did some healing in some med beds and some healing frequencies. Oh my goodness, I almost actually left this without showing you what I show you, because without this, it's not proof. This is proof. Proof. Same spot and same spot. Now, I'm going to do a more detailed video on this. Funny how her daughter, Kim, looks like this. Do you want to see what that's called? You want to see what it's called? I know I've made this stupid face a lot, but it's like, come on, people. I know you people, I understand, get it. Most of it anyway. I have a hard time understanding it, and I do it all day, every day. This is a nuts video. It's nuts. It's crazy. The world we live in it is so true. Like, reality is crazier than fiction. 1000%. Sorry, my dog's moving behind me. So what's craziest to me, I think, is that they just tell us. They just tell us, like, in Me, Myself, and Irene, they gave him his old chin back, and they gave him the glasses, and there's other scenes where he's like smoking just like him. I mean, you can literally just tell that's the same person. It's the same person. It's not clones. They don't reincarnate. It's not lookalikes. It's not doppelgangers. It's the same entity. Now, what I just don't know is what that entity is. Is it a person like me that just has sold their soul and they drink stuff to keep them long? Or are they not human? Are they fallen angels? Are they fallen angels' offspring? Are they the bloodline of the Nephilim and the fallen angels? I don't know. I'm working on that. I'm working real hard on that because it just, my mind wanders so much. I love this video. I love this video because there's a reason I have a photographic memory, and there's a reason I was a huge Jim Carrey fan my whole life and can pick things out like that. I was meant to do this exact video. He put out a post that said, "No one knows me. No one knows me." I literally think that was meant for me, because then I figured out that he was playing Keanu Reeves, because you could tell their nose when he played Keanu, he had a different nose. So I know you, Jim. Just don't know what you are yet. Of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I'm running out of time. I appreciate you guys so much. Crazy, right? Yeah, Don King is MLK. Absolutely. I was going to say something about that video when I came back over here, and I don't remember what it was. Did the video it played all the way, right? But Ashley, yeah, maybe I see what you're saying, because then I didn't get the copyright. They approved it, so it was okay. That's why there was sound in it. But the I wish I replayed the when I did the clip of George next to Jim, like pointing the same, making the same face. Like I should have replayed those a little bit, because it was so clearly him, and it's so clearly Jim and Jim in both, even though it's supposed to be Jim and George. Thanks, Rocky or Roxy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I woke up this morning. I was going to do a totally different video. I had none. I did none of that research yet, none of it. And I watched one video of Jim Carrey this morning that a buddy sent me, and it just like all hit me at once. It just came like rushing in, and that's how I operate. Thanks, Tina. I appreciate it, guys. I have so much love for people that just understand what I'm trying to do, and that I'm just a dude that was a teacher for 20 years and woke up and just have, for whatever reason, was gifted this ability to see through their lies and deceit and deception, and just have a burning desire to expose it. I truly think I came from up there, like we all did, and I feel like this was just my mission. I felt it my whole life that I was supposed to be doing something like this. And I just didn't know what it was until 2 years ago. So anyway, yeah, that's when I was saying that's how I operate. Is it's all like divine downloads, and I don't claim to be special. I think we're all special. I think we all have been given gifts, and I think I have just been lucky enough to find mine. I truly think we were all given gifts, and we're all given gifts that are meant to use to help people. And I think I'm just lucky that I found mine. That's just what I truly believe. And I fast a lot. I pray a lot. So I open up the communication lines with me and our Father, and they just come. They just come. Yeah, it's so funny. Lee, thank you. My brother's name is Lee, and it's funny you say it. How many I've helped awaken. Every day, guys, I could cry literally talking about this right now, but every day I get people who just are thanking me for helping wake them up. But even more awesome is like helping them like either reform a connection with God or find a connection with God. And it's just so humbling. Like I literally could get emotional about it as my dog's sitting here trying to comfort me. Thanks, Harvey. Yeah, I just it's crazy to me though, because I've reached so many people online, and the people in my real life, although a few are coming around. The first 2 years, it was like lost any friend that was close to me, minus one or two. My family thought I was losing my mind. My wife thought I was for a little while, and it's just wild how I truly think if I were to make my videos and slap someone else's face on them and show them to friends and family, it's something about like knowing the person that doesn't allow you to see it. I don't know. It's like a spiritual block or something. Hi, buddy. I'm okay. I'm okay. Thanks. Dogs are the best, guys. He literally sensed that I was like getting a little verklempt. Yeah. Beth, I always give God the credit. I try to not like It's him. It's not me. I tell people this all the time. I'm not this smart. Like, I truly am not. Like in my, and like I hammed it up a little bit, like in my friend group growing up and even in my younger years, like I was like Tyler football meathead guy. Like I've always had a logical brain and like I hammed up the like part about being a meathead, but I'm truly not as smart as all my content. I think it is God. I really do. And I try to, like I say that with humility. I don't say that with arrogance whatsoever. John, I've been live 50 minutes and 42 seconds. I played my Jim Carrey was George Jones subscriber video or member video for everybody. Some people said it was the best video I've done. I kind of feel like it's maybe the best video I've done, not because of the production value or anything, but it's like you watch it and it's hard to not realize that these quote unquote celebrities don't die. They don't. Or they live hundreds of years. But I think they just don't die. I think they're here during this little season to deceive us. The Bible talks about the little season to deceive the nations. Debbie, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, King David's probably out here somewhere. He's probably one of these celebrities. I mean, did you guys see my Joe Rogan as Aleister Crowley? Like, my buddy on TikTok did that video months ago, and I was like, yeah, he looks like him, but it's not him. And then I just had this like feeling. I was like, I should try to look for a smoking gun, and I found it immediately. They both have like this hole right in their face. And then Elon Musk, I don't know why, but I should have known he was Werner von Braun this whole time. Once I realized that they don't die, it opened up the floodgates for so much more. And I've just been going nonstop, like exposing these people because, I mean, I thought I exposed them the past year, but this past couple months has been insane. It's kind of a lot, to be honest. It's like, how have I been like of all the people in the world, I've been given this gift to expose these monsters? Because no one, like, again, all humility, no one is exposing these people like me. Not even close. Not even close. And it's like, why? What? I taught PE for 20 years. Why the heck? Why me? Why am I, and like, I guess to answer my own question, because I will. And I'll do it without fear. And I'll do it relentlessly over and over and over again until everybody wakes up. And that's like a pipe dream, I know, but maybe that's why me, because I will. See, that's the thing, guys. Like someone said, the Avenger group of truthers. Yeah, I don't trust anybody anymore. And I know I hate saying that because I don't want people to not trust me. But I think you got to be careful. Like I trusted people when I first woke up that turned out to be complete government controlled shills. David Weiss, especially. Like David Weiss and I texted probably every day for a year and a half. And then I just started getting discernment going. Like this guy is not what he's claiming. So yeah, unfortunately the people claiming to tell us truth. There's a lot of people that aren't. I shouldn't say they're not, because even people claiming to tell truth, like Alex Jones, will tell you a lot of truth. Like Tucker Carlson will tell you a lot of truth, but then they steal your trust, and then they're going to guide you in that 10% that really matters. That 10% that they gained your trust for, so they can turn you this way with that 10%. So you guys, like, it crushes my soul when people think I'm part of the club or that I'm anything but just a dude that woke up trying to help. I hate it, but I get it. And I encourage people to have that skepticism on people, because I didn't at first. And I learned the hard way. And I shouldn't say the hard way, because nothing happened because of it other than losing people again that I thought were my friends. but I had to expose him. I couldn't. If you guys go back to my December and January videos, I exposed David Weiss, Austin Whitsitt, Sean Hibbler, Flat Earth Millionaire, like all these different frauds in the Flat Earth community. Most recent one that I've completely realized is a fraud who's on YouTube a lot is JT follows JC. That dude is a Masonic lying son of a gun, and he pisses me off more than the rest because he puts JC with his name. So if you guys follow him, I strongly encourage you to go light up his comment world and even say fittest flat earther saying you're a fraud, prove you're not, because that dude's a fraud. That dude is a Mason through and through. You can even tell by one, he did a video, like he made these guys that do these low budget movies like The Level With Me's and JC or JT follows JC did. It's a great video. I'll tell. Yeah, JT is a Mason for sure. He made Ancient Angels, which is a great video, and it's probably him having to tell the truth to people. But that dude's no good, and you can just tell because, like, I don't know if you guys can tell with me. At least I would hope. Someone named God, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words and the contribution. But guys, I think it's very clear that I have a helping heart. I want to expose this to help people. JT is just a content creator. He doesn't care about helping anyone. He's just putting some information out, but there's no sincerity. There's no care. He's just putting information into the world. He even has admitted he's a Mason, but he's like, I'm a Mason. Yeah, it's my job. I'm a stone layer. Well, he's telling us more than what he means there. He's a fraud, guys. He's a fraud. And you can tell he's a fraud because this Charlie Kirk stuff exposed a lot of these people because they won't admit, the people part of the Masonic world won't admit that that was a total psyop, that Charlie is alive and well, probably in a new role, maybe the governor of Utah. Stephen, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, guys, the amount of love, I mean, there are so many trolls, but the love I get from you guys and people who get what I'm doing just far outshines any AI bot troll comment I ever get. So thank you so much. Let's see. I want to just read some comments for a second. Why are you saying? Hey, stop again. Uh-oh. Dog is... Ashley, I was just responding to someone. They asked me about King David. I don't know, nothing would surprise me if people were still around anymore. Like, I think Jesus and the camp of the saints are still around. So maybe King David is with them. That's all I meant is like, he's probably still alive. He's probably still around. I think Jesus and the camp of the saints are probably at the North Pole. And that's why they built, literally there's a giant, it's called the dew line, and it surrounds the center of the earth, not the North Pole, but like the pizza center, because we're on a flat earth. It's a surveillance. And I truly think it's so they know if people are going to find the camp of the saints. Yeah, Kiwi, there's no doubt Charlie Kirk is alive for sure. That was a total false flag psyop. And then, like, you're probably talking to the authority on fake deaths, maybe in the world. And I don't say that with arrogance. I have found more people that have faked their death and who they have become than any other person I've ever seen. A few of them have been found, like I didn't find that Jim Morrison was Rush Limbaugh. I just proved that with birthmarks and facial markings. I didn't find that Jimi Hendrix was Morgan Freeman. I just proved that. But there are dozens upon dozens that I was the one that found it, like Prince being David Blaine. So many, like J-Lo being Selena, like George Jones being Jim Carrey. Like, Elon Musk being Werner von Braun. Eddie Van Halen. So I haven't done a video, but look up the guy named Adam Bomb. I think Eddie Van Halen became Adam Bomb in a different music group. If you just type in Adam Bomb musician, I think that's Eddie Van Halen. Pretty sure. I haven't done facial markings on that one, but I've got a pretty good sense that that's who he is. Hey, and guys, I see a few of you people. I think a few people joined the membership. Thank you. That's awesome. For anyone else interested, guys, I put all my more detailed video, like the video we watched today that was 10 minutes on Jim Carrey. That's a member only video. The normal video I did for the general public was like 3 minutes. So I'm putting my more detailed, more researched videos for my members because they don't get censored in there. I'll try to dumb it down a little bit. What I try to do is I want stuff to go viral, not because of money, because I want to reach as many people that I can. And if there's too much information in it, it won't go viral. So I try to make longer videos for the subscribers and members and try to make videos to potentially go viral to reach the masses for the general public, if that makes sense. But so what I was saying is if you're interested in the more detailed stuff, join the membership. The best $3 you'll ever spend. Truly. I've had so many people tell me they've never subscribed to anyone. I'm the only person they do, and they are so glad they did. JonBenet Ramsey is Katy Perry. I've done a video on that. I'm sure on that. I found birthmarks here and on the shoulder. So you could probably type that in YouTube after, just type in like fittest flat earther, JonBenet Ramsey, and it will probably come up, I think. If not, maybe try Facebook. I saw a Trump Elvis video I wanted to come back to. Do your thing, Tyler. Does David match Elvis and Trump? David who? King David? No, Elvis and Trump is Lucifer. I really believe that. I truly do. I can't prove that one, but I think I've probably done 20 videos on that. Even if you just read how Lucifer is described in the Bible, and then you go and see what Trump, like with the jewel, different, there's like topaz and gold and diamonds that he's described as this beautiful angel. And then you go see that those things line up perfectly with Elvis and Trump. Trump lived on the 66th floor, for crying out loud. Like he posted a video of half Elvis, half Trump, and it got 666,000 likes and stopped dead. They tell us he's Lucifer in the flesh. Yeah, all the presidents related. There's one that's not. It might be Eisenhower that's supposedly not, but I don't even know if I believe that he's not. Nikon, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, I don't, I mean, so many celebrities are inverts. So many. I've done a couple videos, like I've done a Megan Fox one. I don't get too into that because to me, while I know it's happening, so much of it has to be speculation. You can't, like a birthmark, like for example, I said already, Rush Limbaugh and Jim Morrison, their facial symmetry matches up. You can see that very closely, and they have very obscure 3 birthmarks right here. Like, to me, that's evidence and proof that they're the same. When you're doing the male to female stuff, it's speculation because it's not even the indicators. They're not even 100% accurate. Like there are plenty of males and females whose fingers are like what they should be for the male, and they're a woman, but they're actually women. So like those are just indicators. They're not foolproof. So I don't, as much as my page might seem like I speculate, I try to have evidence and research to back it up. And I also think those will get people taken down, to be honest. And I don't next Wex backup. I also, guys, I'm not like a scroller. I'm not someone that watches other people's content because I want my own downloads, my own ideas. I don't want other people's indoctrination or wrong read on things to impact me. I want fresh eyes, fresh logic, fresh everything going in, and just like keeping myself open to truth. Dustin, yeah, I trust my YouTube page. Guys, I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust. I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I have real trust issues these days because, like I said, I mean, I already like this is just being vulnerable and honest for a minute. I was bullied as a kid. Like as a chubby kid, it was part of what made me get into fitness because getting strong gave me mental confidence. And that's part of why I got into being a teacher. I wanted to help kids find their strength physically so they could find it mentally. But I've always been, because of getting bullied as a kid, I've always been very slow to let people into my life. And when I lost a lot of my friends when I woke up, for whatever reason, I was quick to make friends in the truther world because I was like, oh, all these people are just like me. They woke up, they're divided from their family. It's open arms. And I let my guard down and I shouldn't have. And, I was going on all these podcasts, looking back now that so many of them were Masonic podcasts. I don't do podcasts anymore because I'm probably, like considering starting my own or just doing this more often and then posting this on Spotify as a podcast because I could fill all the time in the world just by answering questions. But yeah, I don't know. My guard is up again and I don't trust people online. I really don't. So I don't want to recommend anybody because I don't want to recommend someone that turns out to be a Mason or something. Now, I have my friend Chrissy, who is the funniest flat earther. She's amazing. I fully trust her. She's on Instagram and Facebook. But like her stuff love her stuff, but there's a lot of comedy element to it. But she's someone I can recommend hands down as someone that I trust. She's a woman of God and she's not part of the club like a lot of these Masonic podcasts are. I haven't looked into the Heather O'Rourke stuff. I'm sure she's probably alive. I'm sure. Like that's the thing. So, two big things that really took the blinders off for me completely of like just how much they lie and fake stuff was flat Earth. Okay, because then just like so many people are lying. But then the step after that was knowing that the O.J. Simpson trial was all fake, because no one died. Nicole Brown Simpson is Megyn Kelly, like a newscaster. I've proven that hands down. So once you realize they will go to that extent to deceive, like a full year fake court trial, one, you just know they fake everything. They fake so much. And two, it really makes you realize like a lot of these people that we think we're dying on TV and these murderers, these mass killers and different things, they're fake. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't killers out there, and that doesn't mean there aren't mass killers out there. Part of me thinks that some of these mass killers are just these vampires that aren't doing a good job of hiding it like the rest of them. I did one of my members' videos I did recently. I show how John Wayne Gacy could potentially be Garth Brooks. No joke. Facial markings. There was a lot of conspiracy out there that a person goes missing in the town that Garth Brooks performs in every time. So, yeah. If you remember, go watch my vampire. I did a 10-minute vampire. They're vampires. And at the end of it, I show John Wayne Gacy facial symmetry with Garth Brooks, facial markings with Garth Brooks. Yeah. It's nuts, guys. Yeah, Wilson. Yeah, I agree. They're giving bits of truth, but some of these people are really good. You know, some of these people are really good, and you can't see the angle. That's a thing with it, is you can't see the angle, especially some of these people. Like so many people are like, well, why would they fake Charlie Kirk's death? It's bringing all these people to Christianity. Well, maybe it's bringing all these people to Christianity because Trump's going to activate the Noahide laws and start doing this to Christians. You know what I mean? Like maybe they want there to be a lot of Christians so they can persecute them. You got it. There's always an angle. Sometimes you just got to see what it is. Taylor Swift, I just did a video on. She is Zena LaVey. Anton LaVey is Andrew Tate. Legitimately, for a while, until the past few months, I thought Andrew Tate was Anton LaVey's, who started the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey's son. I thought Andrew Tate was his son. It's not his son. It's him. I found the exact same birthmarks. Their facial symmetry is exact. And Zena LaVey, who was Anton LaVey's daughter, is Taylor Swift. I'm sure those two as well. I just did that video yesterday. It's not a subscriber one. You can go watch that right now. They don't really die. None of them. If they're on the world stage, they're not dying. That's my opinion. Because every time there's a chance I think someone's dead, like, for example, one of my subscribers literally sent me Andre the Giant today. I mentioned this earlier, but that's a guy I would have thought was actually dead, Andre the Giant. But no, he's on the world stage. Just like Hulk Hogan's not dead, just like Ozzy Osbourne's not dead. They don't die. If they're a main character on the world stage, they're not dying. They're not. And like I said, I don't know if that's because they're fallen angels. I don't know if that's because they're humans that sold their soul and they can then drink Abrina Brome, rhymes with Abrina Brome. I don't know if they're the bloodline of the fallen angels, but the more and more I think about it, the more we are in a farm and we're not the apex predator. And I know that sounds terrifying, but like underneath it all, we're spiritual beings. And we go on. And I think part of their deal is they don't. I think they're stuck here. I think they're trapped here. I don't think they can get back to heaven. Team Jesus, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So I'll tell you a funny story about it. Team Jesus said, do I ever get paranoid being enlightened and having so much forbidden knowledge and exposing it? I used to. When I was first starting to do this stuff, before I like put on the full armor of God, and like now, guys, I'm fearless. I'm not paranoid. I'm not fearful. I'm fearless, like truly. But before, like I would say probably 2 years ago now, I was still teaching, and I was definitely still teaching, but I'm trying to think of the time frame. I had started coming into all this knowledge and I had started posting, and I'm driving to school during my lunch break. This is just kind of a funny story that I'll share. I'm driving to school on my lunch break, and like a block away from and this is like right after I had like really exposed some crazy stuff, but a block away from my house, a cop pulls out and starts following me. And like, I know about the Masons. There was a Masonic building in my town. I know cops are Masons, so he's following me. I take a turn, he follows me. Take another turn, he follows me. I go in for a bit, he's following me. I turn in at the light where my school is, he follows me. I go to the parking lot and he pulls in right behind me. And I'm looking in my rear view mirror, no lights go on or anything. I'm like, what the heck is going on? This dude just followed me for like 3 miles. And not only that, but he just pulled in behind me. Like, what? So I like get out and start walking to school, like with some pep in my step. And I look back, 4 more cop cars pull up with him. And you can see they're like conferencing. I'm like, these dudes are coming for me. But like, I'm at this point super paranoid. I go into the school and I go up to the weight room that I have the keys for because there's like big windows to look out. And I'm looking out and I'm watching these cops like come right towards where I just went in. And it's like a different, you wouldn't go in that entrance unless there was a reason for it, like I did. And I'm like, these dudes, I'm like, I might run. Like, I might run from the cops because I don't trust them. They're Freemasons. I'm exposing things like this is it. They're coming for me. So I leave the weight room. I try to get ahead of them. And then I see one teacher I know. And I was like, hey, I was like, do you know why there would be a bunch of cops here? He's like, oh, yeah, there's a fireman versus policeman charity kickball game. And I was like, I am ridiculous. Like, I was so freaking paranoid and like literally thought they were coming for me. And the cops were coming for a charity kickball game. So I was like, all right, sorry, my dogs are wrestling. So that's my paranoid story. Haven't been paranoid since because I realized how ridiculous it was. And like I said, I also just, put on the full armor of God. And look, guys, can you see that? Does anyone see what that is? Come here. That's not a Knights Templar cross. It's a barbell. A lot of people, like, I've had people make videos on how I wear a Knights Templar cross. I'm the fittest flat earther, and I love Jesus. So it's a barbell going across a cross, and people who say the cross is Masonic, well, fine, then it's a stake. It's a stake with a barbell going across it. So guys, I want you to be skeptical. Be skeptical of me, but I swear on my crazy, insane dogs that I am just a guy who was a teacher for 20 years. I have no affiliation with any secret societies, organizations. I am just me. I make all my videos. No one tells me anything to do. It's just me because I care. That's it. Who is Jane Goodall now? I don't know. But let's get into that for a second before I've been on almost an hour 20. I want to get off probably the next 10 minutes, guys. So is the second thing behind clones, the clone psyop that drives me nuts is the Mandela effect psyop, which drives me nuts. The Mandela effect is not a thing. Okay. Now, what is a thing is the powers that be, the fallen angels, the whoever, they control the internet and they just change the information on the internet. People don't realize that they have full access to erase and add and this and that. It's just them mocking us and making fun of us and manipulating us. They're screwing with the algorithm. They're screwing with things. There's no Mandela effect. It's not happening. It's just them. It's just them mocking us. And I just want people to know that because so many people believe in clones. So many people believe in the Mandela effect. In my humble opinion, they're both total psyops, like Charlie Kirk dying. Julia, if you think I'm wrong on that one, I would love to hear why, because any single Mandela effect I've ever seen is just someone showing a picture on the internet saying, look, it's different. Well, yeah, because they changed the internet. That's all. They changed the internet. And there are a lot of people that push the Mandela effect that are Masons, especially the Mandela effect of biblical manipulation. That's just them messing with the Bible. Yeah. So, so the bodies in the casket are fake. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are. And let me talk to that real quick, like a little quick personal thing here. My brother, his brother-in-law, was first cousins with Chris Farley. He's a Wisconsin family. Um, um, Flo, my friend, you can email me at fittestflatearther@yahoo.com if you want. Thank you for the contribution. So anyway, back to the Chris Farley, my brother's brother-in-law. His first cousin is Chris Farley. He went to the funeral. So my brother, when I was making Chris Farley videos, is like thinking I'm an insensitive a-hole. And I'm like, well, yeah, they're gonna fake a funeral. Of course they're gonna fake a funeral. They're not gonna say someone died and then not have a funeral. That just makes it completely obvious. Now, I don't think that my brother's brother-in-law knows that Chris Farley didn't die. Do I think Chris Farley's brothers do? Probably. Do I think Chris Farley's mom does? Yeah. Like the immediate family knows. And most often those people grew up in Masonic families. And I wouldn't even say most often. I would say almost always. Like Chris Father's father was probably a Mason. That's how you get invited to these things. That's how you make it past the low levels of comedy and things like that. So thank you again, Flo. I appreciate it. Yeah, feel free to email me. Sometimes I'm a little slow because my email gets filled, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Hans and Franz from SNL. Yeah, of course. I used to do a video. That was like my first ever content creation. My friend Nick and I made videos pretending to be Hans and Franz. I wish I could find those. They'd probably be pretty hilarious. I mean, pretty bad, but pretty hilarious to watch for you guys, maybe. I wanted to hear Julia. I want to scroll back to see if Julia, if you're still there, do you have anything you can back up why I'm wrong on the Mandela effect being a psyop? Because to me, there's no evidence of it actually existing. Just like there's no evidence of clones actually existing. I don't see any response though. Elon Tusk, thanks. I did, yeah. I've done a handful of Chris Farley videos, guys. I feel bad because it bothers my brother, and it probably even bothers his brother-in-law more. But I got to do what I got to do. I know I got to expose these liars. I got to expose them. I do. I don't know how long the short season is. A lot of people think maybe it's coming to an end in 2030. I don't know, though. Yep, Bruce Lee is Gene Ho. I've done a video on it. Absolutely, 100%. I also found Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was a hard one, but I finally figured it out. And it's hard because he, like Brandon Lee looks part Asian because he was part Asian. But who he turned into, they made him look not Asian. He's Chris Klein. Chris Klein, like a striker from freaking American Pie, the lacrosse player. Brandon Lee turned into Chris Klein. Go look that video up because I'm sure on that one too. And that's the thing, guys. I don't make these videos. I've been wrong on these videos where I've said someone has died and become someone else. I've been wrong once. One time. Now, another time I speculated and was wrong. And I'll tell you the two that I missed. And I can admit when I'm wrong. I came back and I said I was wrong. Here's who it is. So I found Chris Cornell, who is Jonathan Rumi from The Chosen. And someone said, I bet Chester Bennington is in The Chosen. So I went through and I thought Chester Bennington became Dallas Jenkins, the director of The Chosen. and they looked so different. So I was like, but I like thought I could have sworn I thought I found some smoking guns, but I like they're a little off, and I just went with it, and I shouldn't have. But I was wrong on that because someone brought to my attention how much Chester Bennington looked like Tom Holland, and then that was zero doubt on that one. There was zero doubt that Tom Holland is Chester Bennington. And the only other one I've been wrong on, even though I didn't fully commit to it, I just speculated, was thinking that Paul Walker became JD Vance. He didn't. Paul Walker became Tim Ballard, the Sound of Freedom director. Sure on that. Just like I'm sure JD Vance is Josh Duggar, the dude that was in that 19 Kids show who is supposedly in jail for like 12 years right now. So, all right. I'm going to maybe look for one or two more questions, guys, and then I got to let my dogs out. How long do they live? Well, that's a funny. So, have you guys? I'm sure a lot of you in here have probably seen the movie They Live. Roddy Piper, They Live. He even said it's a documentary, but I think what a lot of people thought it was a documentary for is there being like shapeshifters or aliens or whatever, which is true. But I think They Live, the title of the movie is the biggest documentary. They live like forever. I don't know how long. I don't know if these are the fallen angels that are released to deceive us. I don't know if they've always been here. I don't know if they're literal blood-sucking vampires that are descendants of the fallen angel. I don't know that, guys. I don't know if I'll ever know that until I die and, it's revealed. But I want to know bad, and I'm trying to figure it out. I just don't know. I don't know what it'll take to figure that out other than talking to one. Sam Tripoli, who does the Tinfoil Hat podcast, he wanted me to come on because I did a video on how he's Francis Bacon, and I'm sure he's Francis Bacon, and I'm sure he wanted me on. He just happened to talk. So this is how this went down. He just happened to talk about me for the first time ever in one of his podcasts in an episode that they're talking about Francis Bacon. Knowing that I would probably look up Francis Bacon, and with my facial recognition, I would say Francis Bacon looks exactly like Sam Tripoli. So then I did a video, and he's like, come on my podcast and talk about this. I'm like, I'm only coming on, like, if we can really talk. Like, none of this gatekeeping crap. Like, I want to know, I want to hear truth. And, like, he wasn't going to let me talk. I wanted to talk about this guy being Trump's dad, and I'm like, that was around the time I said no more podcasts when he was trying to get me on. I'm like, these guys are coming after me. I was invited to LA 5 times a couple months ago in the same month, people trying to get me on their podcast, all big podcasts. Why would they I don't know if they were trying to recruit me or something else, but I'm like, no way am I going to LA. I can only speculate on the CERN stuff, the particle collider stuff. I don't know what's going on. I've heard things like everybody, like opening up portals and things like that. I don't know if it's part of weather manipulation and they use the portal stuff to throw people off. I don't know. Like I said, I try to only dabble in stuff I can prove. I can't prove anything with that. Dolly Parton, I think, is probably going to meet her fake demise soon because she's getting real old, unless she already has. And I think probably be a new character real soon. Yeah, Ashley, I don't think you're right. I really don't. They've told us they clone animals. They've put it in the news. They've put it on Google. Yeah, you're right. They tell us that. There's no evidence of that. That's like, and they say they have Clonade in Canada. There's zero evidence. Now, can they make an animal in a petri dish and grow it in an incubator? Yeah, but they're not duplicates. There's not duplicates. They're not exact duplicates. The only way you can get a duplicate is twins. Clones don't exist. I'm sorry. We've been brainwashed to think that. just like we were brainwashed to think we live on a globe. It's not real. It's not real. That's a good question. I mean, the Bible talks about, you're right. I mean, the Bible literally talks about humans living 900 years. Like, I think Adam lived like 900 years, or Noah lived 900 years, not Adam. And they have manipulated the Bible for sure. So maybe, it says that men or humans won't live more than 120 years. Maybe they added that and we just accept it because it's in the Bible, and it's because they're poisoning everything. But but they're doing something. They're not just living, they're living and then getting younger and living and getting younger, living and getting younger. So there's definitely something more going on than them just poisoning us. That's definitely going on. But do I want a revolution? I mean, so here, I'll tell another quick story. 2 years ago, when I first started posting and waking up, it was me and my wife and my brother-in-law, and he was kind of like, who cares if this is all true that you're saying? Who cares if the earth is flat? Who cares if they're all lying? Like, what are you going to do about it? Who cares? And I'm like, what do you mean? What am I going to do about it? I'm like, I literally said that. I said, I'm going to start a revolution. I'm going to flip the proverbial table. I'm going to do something about it. And I sit here 2 million followers later doing something about it. So yeah, I'm doing my best to start something. I've already started something. I've woken thousands, if not millions of souls. So yeah, I'm doing my darndest. Now, I think there's probably more I can be doing. I just haven't figured out what that is yet. I don't know. There's something still in the work, like something down the road. I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I feel like there's still something bigger I'm supposed to be doing almost. And I'm incorruptible. I'm unbuyable. Like, fittest flat earther for real president, like someone that actually the people want, not a elected Freemason, Illuminati, fallen angel. Oh yeah, they can manipulate sound for sure. Frequencies, sound, stuff like that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to find one more question in here and then I want to get going. Flip tables. I'm doing my best, Debbie. I'm flipping tables. Every day I'm flipping tables. It just comes in the form of videos. Yeah, B. Yeah, of course. Please, guys, please share my videos. B asked if she or he, I didn't see who, can share my videos to wake people up. Please download them, repost them, put them in your stories, do whatever you want. Please. I have a lot of people that, unfortunately, there are a lot of people trying to use my stuff to make money. I don't want you guys doing that. I want you to do it for the right reasons. So I'm not giving permission to people that just steal my stuff and try to make money off of, but please share it for the masses, for awakening souls. Yeah. Geoengineering. Thank you, my friend. Guys, I think I'm going to keep doing this more often. This is the third or fourth live I've done the past few days, and I'm just really enjoying them. It makes, I don't talk to people about this stuff in my real life. There's like just a couple people I text with about it. So this helps me. This is therapeutic for me, and I'm sure it is for you guys too. So I think I want to do this more frequently. So just be on the lookout. Maybe I'll try to set a permanent day or date and time. So Annie, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed this too. I really did. And guys, I promise you on everything that I am, on my dogs, that I am just a real genuine person that was a teacher for 20 years. Research me. Like, if you're skeptical still, research me. I was a teacher at Grays Lake North High School for 17 years. Before that, I taught at Lake Forest High School, both in Illinois. So research me. Maybe it'll give you some peace of mind if you still have doubts about me. But I promise you on everything that I'm just a dude who wears a nice wall hat, trying to help because I love people. I love humans. And more than even that, I hate liars. I hate liars. So, all right, guys, I'm going to call it. Much love. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully see you guys soon. All right. Take care.